Hey everybody, this is John and welcome to the free video. Let's just dive right in. One of the main things that I'm looking at right now is the 10-day moving average of the put-call ratio. And you can see that this thing has spent some time at extremes. As we went into February, it was incredibly bearish, the most bearish reading we've seen in 3 years. And you can see the resulting action. As we headed into the beginning of April, it was incredibly bullish, the most bullish we've seen in about 8 months. And you can see from there, we got a pretty strong rally, although certainly not a rally to new highs. And now where we are is we're back to dead neutral. All right, and so when we go back to dead neutral, anything can happen. And so when I go here, because when you get extreme bullishness like that, what it means is that everybody's short. If everybody's short, there's no one else left to sell. So, the market just rips shorts faces off by running stops, which pushes the market higher and vice versa. So now we don't have that situation. We're essentially balanced. And you can see if we look at the NASDAQ here, we're kind of perfectly balanced in between about the 50 and 618 retracement of this move. All right, so the NASDAQ is essentially in balance and could go either way. And if we look at the spiders, it's a little bit more on the bearish side. But one thing I want to point out here is that when we switch over to the futures, we actually have a really big monster squeeze setting up on the S&Ps. And right now, it's below the key moving averages and below the key trend line. So the odds are high here that this thing could roll over and die. However, I've seen this market make big moves just on a tweet. So instead of getting aggressively short this market, we're actually looking at, or I'm looking at strategies that are more based on long strangles and long straddles. All right. So that's kind of the essence of what I'm looking at here. In the premium video, I'm going to show you a couple of sectors here that I really like. To the long side as opposed to just betting on volatility. And then I also want to take a look at interest rates. But for now, straddles and strangles on the indexes, I'm continuing to like, especially as these squeezes start pumping up. And we should also take a look at some stuff for earnings. So one thing that's coming up for Tuesday is, if you guys have heard of the CML market tool, it's a really awesome tool. And we're going to bring Ophir on. And he is going to talk about how to avoid bad trades by examining past moves on autopilot. Now, I'm hosting this with him, but I'm just going to introduce him and then turn it loose. Just turn him loose. The stuff that he talks about, the software that he talks about, the way he backtests it is just, it speaks for itself. And this is something that, especially if you're into kind of, pure statistical, like, okay, this works, 9 times out of 10 if you do it exactly this way and you structure the option trade exactly this way, then this is for you. So if you go to, and there'll be a link in the email, but if you go to simplertrading.com/bad-trades, it'll bring you to this page. Again, free training and some of the things he's going to cover. You'll see if you scroll a little bit further down, how to know when an option strategy is doomed to fail, how to match the right option strategy to the right stock, how to exploit pre-earnings momentum in the specific FANG stocks, how to turn a losing strategy into a potential 65% gain with a mouse click, why you don't need luck with 11-to-1 winners and a 286% return, and how a little-known long-short straddle could generate 207%. Just a lot of cool stuff like that. And Ophir, he'll go through this stuff. And I love the way his mind works because it's purely analytical. He does not like leaving anything to chance. For example, he would never hold through earnings, but he's got a ton of stuff he would do prior to and after earnings based on specific data that he's learned over the years from first being on the floor as a floor trader, and then in developing the software. So it's really awesome stuff. And I'm hoping you guys can join us for that. And you guys have a great night. I'm going to continue recovering from my jet lag from getting back from Africa. And we'll see you tomorrow night.